All right, what's up, everybody? How you doing? We've got the finals here for the 2v2 tournament. Daddy Slothington and Rexy himself up against Street Handles and Death. Street Handles and Death have had a really long road. They almost lost their last game to Jabber and Carl Weezer. And that was a doozy. That was a doozy of a match in which Jabber actually wasn't trolling. He just didn't know that Onis only procs if there's 3 people. And he also was just like too stubborn to sell his urchin or something. Now we see Street on his classic Raijin. This is his god. He does phenomenally with it every time he plays it. I've lost to it once painfully. And he is, he took, I think, like 3rd in our last tournament, mostly due to the Raijin. 82nd? I don't know. He took top 3. Guys coming up big right now, and they've got a great comp, in my opinion. Raijin, frickin', goddammit, Robin. They have similar names, so it tripped me up. Raijin, Robin, really, really strong. But then again, Thoth has always come up in these 2v2 tournaments in the later stages, and I think that means, you know, when you're doing something right, you're building Thoth, or rather the other way around, you know, you're doing something right when you're taking Thoth for your team here. Because time and time again, as the phrase that I said that all casters overuse, but listen, I use it once per caster. So that's it. Yeah, time and time again, that's twice. The Thoth pick comes out in the finals, and it really does work. So, you know, it just depends on whether you're confident enough with the god. And these guys certainly are. Sloth, I don't usually see doing the like heavy, like the mage work. So this will be an interesting change of pace. Generally I see him on ADCs, and we saw him playing the tank for Rexy last time as the Fafnir. Oh, overlay, so sorry guys, I had to fix some stuff. I think I finally fixed it correctly. The echoing that was happening with my notifications. But yeah, this is definitely an interesting matchup. The question mark for me here is Death. Death in the last game, and even before that, he has been the outlier. If he starts, you know, dying too much, he really sets the team back quite a bit. They're going for another one of these strategies where they're going for late game with a bruiser, and you know they really need to get there comfortably. Death needs to stay, you know, in his lane, so to speak, so that he's not just throwing himself without, you know, without a cause. So let's see if he can do it with what he's learned from last game, though. They made a huge comeback, from which I think he was down 0-4. So that should definitely be an eye-opener for him. Should recognize, you know, how he needs to play it. He's doing the fidget spinner, and that's the only reason I count him out. Rexy not an ADC is also really interesting. Or an assassin. I mean, usually his go-tos, but you know, most of the basic assassins that he plays are not, you know, not core in this game mode. This game mode is a lot about having a tanky frontliner and a mage backup, or a tanky frontliner and a hard carry ADC backup, like a Ho Yi. So going for something like a, you know, a Thanatos or a Fenrir, who Sloth loves, doesn't quite work out as well on the hybrid, you know, end of things. Uh-oh, this is going to be a lot of damage from Street Handles. No, Sloth actually able to dash so far. That's that Thoth. Oh my god, the skin, dude. It's screaming. Both of these gods so poke heavy, and really both have so much range at their disposal. Of course, Thoth just a little bit more range, but on the other side of things, Raijin just a little bit more damage, and a little bit more confirmable, you know, on the ultimate as well. For ult potential here, Slothington would have to have an ult prepped and ready and hit it after Rexy. Oh, you know what? He can do it after a taunt. I was thinking you'd have to do it after the knockup, but they could probably just set it up for the taunt. He would start charging it, Rexy taunts him, and then they, you know, get the shot off. They just have to be, you know, good on their comms in order to do that. Everybody always thinks Slothington is good stuff. This one can definitely be a long game. Like I said, both of these guys have a similar strategy, or pretty much the exact same strategy. Different gods, same roles. Oh my god! The Taiko drums there, doing so much damage, just obliterating Daddy Sloth so early on into that fight. He thought he could even turn back and use his own ultimate through that, but no. The shell was even used too. I think at this stage, or in general, Robin is the better god here between Erlang and Robin for the 2v2 scenario. So, in terms of the draft, Red Team, I think, got far and away the better end. And then when it comes down to Raijin versus Thoth, though, like I said, very similar gods and very, very similar roles. Raijin's more of the heavier damage, whereas Thoth is a little bit safer. So it really comes down to how you play these two. Raijin is broken right now. How you doing, Caesar? Warlock Sash, like I said, that late game strategy from Street Handles, you know, showing clearly here with that Warlock's pickup. That's, you know, that's as late game as it gets. And Death going into the Urchin again this time from ahead though. You know, I can see it here from ahead for sure. It's a strong item base stat wise, and he's definitely going to actually get some stacks off of it. I still personally feel like I wouldn't rely on it in the 2v2 because I feel like the stacks are never going to get that high, but you know, I might be underrating it slightly. It definitely at least makes more sense here. Rexy's actually going for the Urchin as well here, and this time on his end of the spectrum, I don't know. I guess it's just super popular 2v2. Like I said, a lot of people have just been going Urchin no matter what. Like people are going like Urchin ADC and shit too in Conquest. But at least in Conquest, you know, you have the ability to stack it. I feel like it's very stack dependent, but because it's costly otherwise. I don't think the base stats do justify it enough, but, you know, I don't know. I don't know anymore. Yo, what's up, Nuda? How you doing? It's not my birthday. Don't let people deceive you. Anybody. My birthday's March 11th, 1994. My social security number is... That's how my Twitter got hacked. I thought I got hacked when the whole Twitter thing happened. I was like, shit. Somebody probably posted, like, some nude Photoshop picture of me. But no. I got hacked. I got banned because I said die to Bagel 500. And now he will die. Only jokingly, by the way, if you haven't heard the rest of the context. He's a friend, and I just said die. You know, you just joke around with your friend, you say die. Not allowed to say that anymore. I find it very... Oh, Rex is going down here. No, the Taiko drums, or not the Taiko drums, but the one was not up there for Raijin, actually. They are both so low, and Slot... Look at this guy. This guy's death is just skirting death. And he's got his fidget spinner. I'm not getting past that fidget spinner. I find the whole thing ironic because I tweeted die, and like I am so against ever saying like kill yourself, like even as a joke, because a lot of people like saying kill yourself as a joke. Like, you know, it's, you know, so many people do. I really don't like it. I don't like seeing it, and I certainly would never say it myself. But then I got banned for saying die as like a complete joke, you know, to Bagel, dumb stuff. And like I said, it's only because somebody like made bots to mass report it, so they thought it was a real threat, I guess, is what it comes down to at the end of the day. Oh well. I'm almost done with Mario Odyssey, and I'm so sad. The last stage is fucking amazing. Well, it's actually not even really the last stage, but the stage I'm on just now. I don't want to spoil anything for anybody ever. Death's taking so much here. It's all been Street's damage, man. He is... Nah, I shouldn't say that. Death's setup for Street has been very, very good, especially on that you know, initial kill that they got that's put them where they are. All right, Street's up in the air and doing so much again. Oh my God, he does knock his ass down with that 2. Rexy's trying to do something. I think they might just have got outdrafted here, to be honest. The early game pressure from this team is just a lot stronger. You wouldn't think so with the Warlocks for Street, but it's just Raijin, or not Raijin. Goddamn, they have similar names. Ravana being able to deliver that early game pressure so well. I don't know how well Erlang delivers in this game mode. We usually don't see him as much. Usually it's more the Osiris, the Robin, even the Hercules. Oh, and for certain the Cullen. I hate that god and his name. But I never doubt, I never count out the Erlang. He's such a strong god in Duel. At the same time, I don't know if he has the same setup potential and like early, you know, burst and yeah. Oh, he just slapped him. Uh-oh, this is it. It's all come down to this, but the Aegis first slot. I think if Street turns here, he dies. So you gotta keep running. He made it out. He's good. Next 2v2 is next month. There's one every month, guys. At the start of the month. It's always the first Sunday of the month. So I like to keep it consistent that way. So, you know, if any of you on YouTube are planning on joining the next 2v2, that's when it'll be. Only one team member needs to be subscribed in order to, you know, participate. I like how Rexy has the O that way. What is that O? How does that exist for glory? What language is this? Because it's fucking cool, man. Our clan name needs some spice like that, you know? That was me. This time around, it's actually Sloth that's behind by quite a bit on this, you know, on this Thoth 0-2. Not a good look because obviously he's the one that they're trying to get to late game and trying to, you know, get all this damage on. At least in levels, he hasn't fallen behind too far though. Rexy's done a good job, you know, making sure that he's held waves for him and just given him enough room that he can farm it up safely. Oh, none of the shots are gonna connect there onto Rexy, so no poke will be had, but there's nothing up right now, so this is when the game is at its slowest. You know, unless somebody really steps completely out of position, nothing's gonna happen here. Smart of him to try to hit him with that too, but just fell short there, the reach from the creep. And we do have a stack on the Urchin here for the red team. Almost full stacks on Warlocks already for Street. Jesus. This has just been such a slow-paced game again. Like I said, I figured it would be. Death getting blown up here. All the shots are hitting from Sloth. Except for the stun. And the stun is the most important one. It's the hardest to hit in most situations. And it is definitely the most important. Oh, what a play. That blink from Death was so smart. He probably will still go down for it. No. Rexy. Oh my god, look at these guys on different targets here. Oh, the shots missed from Street. That's so unfortunate, but he finds it anyway. He needs a little help from his teammate that time. Oh my god, this is close. Rexy just trying to make something out of this. He does get him, and he could. No, he doesn't have his 3 anymore, so Street should be able to just take him down. There it is, just autos him down. I've never seen Erlang get auto down from like a quarter health damage. All the creeps backing him up there, shooting as many arrows as they could. It's a Greek letter? Oh, that's cool. Like this guy's clan, Eric. It's actually Erlich, but let's see. I like Eric. 4-0 for street handles. What a lead on this guy. He's got Gem of Isolation done, slowing the enemy so much. On top of the what's it called? The 2 slow that he already has now in his kit. He's just going, actually this is the solid dual build that he would almost always go straight, I would imagine. Except for the, probably the Warlock start would be the difference. It depends who he's fighting in the early game, how aggressive the early game god is. Oh wow, great ult, very smart. He's not hitting Sloth at all though, he was out of range, and I don't know why he didn't just go on Rexy. That's going to cost him a little bit. They could have, you know, done some return damage on Rexy so that he can't dive them as hard here. But, you know, that slow will do it for him too. This man literally can't take 2 steps right now. Every 2 steps is a mile. Death. Well, it's actually funny. Street's been a little bit off on his abilities right now, securing them. Death had to find him that slow with his 1 to confirm his auto that procced the 2 to kill. Who was it in the last engagement? To kill Rexy in the last engagement. So you know, cute little teamwork to help Street while he's a little bit off right now. Hopefully, you know, he's got to get back on his game, because these are 2 players in Rexy and Sloth that, you know, if you give them the opportunity and you start missing your shit, they will absolutely be able to flip the script on you real quick. Red buff, I was gonna say red buff held by Street. It literally just disappeared. Yeah, that was a big factor. So this could be potential turnaround. If they can get the red team to overcommit here. Let's hope this one doesn't go to 40, what is it, 44 again? Yeah. Please, God. It's a good game, too, the other one. It's just like the same, it was the same engagement for 22 minutes. But, you know, it takes, like, a lot of creativity, and you have to... It's hard to be as creative, I'd like to say, in 2v2. Because in 5v5, you're working with so many different components. Especially from behind. You know, it's harder to make the comebacks in a 2v2 scenario. In a 5v5, you can get picks. You can't pick somebody in this, you know? There's 2 of you. Like, you really have to make a really dumb play, like I generally would in 2v2, in order to get picked. By overstaying like crazy. Or just deciding to 2v1. I mean, 1v2. So yeah, the creative approaches are really limited, and the extent of what you can do from behind is very limited. I think that's what ends up making 2v2 a not as competitive, you know. But hopefully, you know, there's I like to put a lot of bans in these. I do 4 bans each. So I'm surprised to still see the Thoth make it through very consistently. There are a lot of good gods on the table. And the Ravana as well. That's another one that you really expect to see gone by now. He's been like first pick, first ban since the first week that we've ever ran the 2v2. But if a team feels confident that they can counterplay it, then by all means. Oh yeah, it's 4 bans each, and then there's also the Kali and Afro ban automatically. And that might even be outdated on Afro. Probably not, though. Alright, Rexy eaten alive here. And the slows, so potent. Especially the slows against Erlang Shen work very well because his animal transformations are still affected by those slows, unlike some of the forms of the 72, what is it, 72 transformations? The Sun Wukong ones. So these, he actually can be reduced to such a slow crawl while he's trying to come over to you. And it works out real well. So I think gods with potent slows are a huge counter to Erlang as a whole. Wow, that's some beads forced out. Street handles, oh my god, dude, so much damage. Sloth actually forced out into an Aegis. He's gonna get shot in the face. Whoa, off the mark. We have not seen almost any impactful ults from Daddy Sloth. I don't know if we've seen any this game. Like I said, I think this team needs to be able to set up better for it. Rexy with the ultimate makes the call that he's gonna ult. Daddy Sloth start up his ultimate, then Rexy actually ults and, you know, hits him with a moderately charged one. Red buff's coming up. There's gonna be a or it could be a big point of contention. It might not, because the blue team might need to just let it go here with how far behind they are, depending on the positioning. But they have Thoth, so it's kind of like, you know, you never really have to just let something go. There's always some potential to steal. Yeah, on the side of Death and Street, they don't need to like make a you know, a true combo on anyone. They just combine their efforts and throw their damage together, and it outweighs what the blue team can do, especially because they're already ahead. But even from the get-go, ooh, Street Handler's a little early on that, but he's actually using it for the taunt and stopping the Sloth from being able to get out there. That was really smart. Unfortunate that they didn't have enough damage to actually take him out. I don't know why Death didn't ult. Maybe he was CC'd by Rexy. I know that Rexy ulted, but it looked like only towards the end. Had Death piled on top of him with his own ult at the beginning of that, it would have worked out for him. Oh my god, I think he took the blue. Rexy actually stole it. Unless Street just didn't take it because he already has red. Thoth really wants something here. Once you start hitting the 25-minute mark, you know, people start getting restless. There definitely needs to be a way to shorten these games, though. The longer, or the... A lot of times in the finals, we won't have the most evenly matched people. For some reason, it happens that way. You know, upsets happen. When it does turn out this way, a lot of times it'll be reduced to, you know, a very, very long match of very similar approaches over and over again. Wow, he's got stuffed. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking for next time, is there a way that we can make this not happen? Not to say it's not hype, because it's still exciting and hype. I'm down. But yeah, to increase the level of enjoyment for the viewers and the players, let me know if you have any ideas. Ooh, finally, a big ult connects there. Everybody incredibly low, but Sloth is the one that goes down. Street is tanky enough now to go in. See what I'm talking about with that the slow on the Mink there? Yeah, Street is tanky enough now to face both of these guys in that position. He face tanked a ton of damage there with that 100 stacked Warlock Sash and a tier 2 Silver Talisman. He was able to absorb a lot of damage from Sloth and yet still go in strong and deal so much damage. And Death just baited out so much onto himself. They almost got him, and that's what made them finally commit hard. You know, he baited them out of this hole that they've been hiding in for the past, like, 10 to 12 minutes. And hopefully they can find the end here. Exactly. Classic case of using too much on the tanks. It was a big bait from Death. Worked out very well for him. Oh, nice juke. He knew he was going to shoot exactly where he was. That's an easy way to, you know, escape the Thoth ult. In most cases, if you're just running away, he's going to assume that you don't know that he's ulting, even though the sound is quite loud, and he can, you know, he knows it's coming. Oh, man, he might actually kill him. Yeah, there. Oh, he had an ult, too. Oh, my God. Bad on me to not recognize he had it. Yeah, but Street Handles got his, too. And with Street Handles' ult, they can go in and absolutely just end. Street Handles might just try to do it alone. I think he's going to. Nah, okay. He can. Because that is a very... Oh, yeah, that's a rock. That is a very low Titan. And the Taiko drums at this level do such an insane amount of damage. And he's got a primarily damaged build. So, yeah, I think he can definitely do it. But he's got to get past these guys first. And they're going to put up, you know, the best defense they can here. Not sure what Death's doing. It's taking a little while there. Allowed them to poke out Street a little bit. Unfortunately, they don't have Death's ult. Because they want to cover some ground here, just like, you know, force an initiation from deep. To force them back so that they can start getting closer to that Titan. Oh, here comes the ult. Big. Oh. You see what I'm saying? The Taiko drums at this level are absurd. That man legitimately exploded. GG. So that's game one. Street Handles and Death go up against Rexy and Daddy Sloth, which, you know, I think nobody would expect. A lot of people definitely didn't even expect these guys to be in the finals. Crazy performance from them so far. We'll see how they do in game two. Oof.